There's just something about the unknown that always pulls me in. It excites me, but if I'm being honest, it scares me too. I'm heading up to 8,000 feet of elevation today. Rear-wheel drive, unpredictable mountain roads, and no guarantees. And that's what makes it worth it. Today, after living in this van full-time for 2 years, I'm finally removing this screen. There are 3 main reasons why I'm removing this. The first one is ever since I've got my MacBook Pro, I just don't need a screen like this. The MacBook Pro is just very space efficient and I don't need a monitor this big. The second reason is that a monitor like this is huge and it takes up a ton of power, which I don't have. I have a Jackery 2000 watt Pro, which does provide a lot of power, but when you add this in, it just eats into the battery way too much. The third reason is once I remove this, I'm gonna have this whole platform to store stuff. I can just strap things down when I'm on the road. It's just gonna make life a lot easier living in this van. No more screen. Removing this is going to save me so much energy, time, and effort. Now let's go on a trip. It's so funny. I thought it would really be a game changer when I installed it. I imagined this big high-tech setup where I could sit, edit my footage, and be productive. But the thing is, I never use it. Ever since the arrival of the MacBook Pro, the big screen that I had installed back there was just a nuisance. It was always sapping power and then just occupying this valuable space. And there were times when I would stop really suddenly in the van when I didn't plan to, or if I had to make a really tight turn last minute, where the screen would just swing out and hit me, even though I had it secured with some bungee hooks. In a van, every little inch counts, and it was really a shame to see all of that great space go to waste. It's strange, isn't it? How we convince ourselves that we need things. We build these kinds of ideas in our heads. This is the XYZ thing that will make my life better, but then reality happens. And reality always has the final say. I've realized that the more that I refine this space, the more that I refine how I live. Every little decision, where things go and how accessible they are, really affects how I move through my day. And that also affects how I feel. And when you live in a small space like mine, how you feel matters. This is gonna make a huge difference for the van and how I move about it in my life. I keep telling myself that the roads are fine. I think it's definitely warm enough for the roads to be safe, and it's definitely been really warm this past week, but I should know better. Up here, the weather changes really fast. Just a little bit of ice could change everything. I've been here before with this exact feeling, the quiet anticipation. I'm fully aware that I may regret this choice at any moment. But see, that's the thing about adventure. It never becomes fully comfortable. Adventure is asking you to step into uncertainty. It asks you to trust yourself, and I think that's why I keep on doing it. I'm just so glad that I was able to get up here and not have any problems getting stuck on the road. That would have been really bad. What a relief. Whenever I find myself in a new place, I'm reminded that adventure is more than just the rush of excitement. The initial thrill captivates my senses, but it's the later peaceful stillness that captivates my full attention. It's in quiet moments like this where I can sit still and find clarity. I can reflect on my experiences, and I realize that I'm exactly where I need to be. I'm at over 8,000 feet, and I'm in this beautiful ponderosa pine forest in this very rocky and mountainous terrain. It's getting a little bit chilly outside, so I think I'm going to turn the heater on and then get some dinner started. On the menu tonight, we have a classic Trader Joe's chicken burrito, which is a fan of Vanlifers everywhere, and also these little mini-style bao buns. They should be delicious. I'm going to preheat the air fryer to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and then we're going to see how these go. After I preheat the air fryer, I lower the temperature to 300 degrees Fahrenheit, put the burrito in. We're going to set a timer for 4 minutes, then flip it over, another 4 minutes. Burritos are perfectly done. Everything's crispy, everything's cooked on the inside. It's going to be delicious. Ooh, perfectly cooked. Can't wait to eat this. We're just gonna let this cool down for a little bit. Whew, that's hot. While that's cooling down, let's fry up the bao buns. Look at this amazing burrito. It's so well cooked. Let's try this. So well done. Perfect. Perfectly cooked. 4 minutes flip, 4 minutes flip. That's the way to do these. So good. I may have overcooked them just a little bit, but they should still taste good. Smells really good, and it kind of looks like a pretzel the way it got toasted. Let's try. Oh, it's perfect. Perfectly cooked on the inside. Nice toasted, crispy on the outside. There's just something about cooking outdoors that feels different. It's slower and more intentional. When you're in a house and at home, I feel like cooking becomes the sort of routine that's monotonous. Chop, cook, eat, repeat. But when I'm in a van, I feel like it transforms into this mindful practice. It's part of the experience, and it becomes this ritual that I really enjoy. I think it elevates the very act of cooking, and it takes it to a whole new level. When you live this way, you pay attention to every detail. You become very aware of the resources that you're using, like the water that you have to use to drink, the propane that helps you cook, and the power that keeps the lights on. I think that this increased awareness encourages this sense of mindfulness and responsibility. It makes you connected with the resources that you use. Food just tastes better when you earn it, when you have to work for it, even in the smallest way. It must be the elevation, the fresh air, and the remoteness out here that makes everything just taste so amazing. It's been a really long day. I think I'm gonna go to sleep. Good night. I used to think adventure was about distance or endurance, about how far I could go and physically push myself. Then I found this place where a single moment feels endless. The wind out here doesn't just stir the trees, it rekindles what we've forgotten to feel. When we stand so small against something so boundless, uncertainty stops being the enemy. It becomes our guide. We think we need the perfect plan, but maybe we need the courage to simply arrive with our hearts open. There's a quiet power in the unknown. It's where possibility waits for us to show up. I slept great last night. The temperature dropped to 20 degrees outside, but I was nice and warm in the van. I depleted my propane tank at 2 a.m., and it started to get very cold in here. So I was really glad that I brought my hammock gear 40-degree down quilt to keep me warm. It dropped to about 40 degrees inside the van after the heat went out, but compared to the outside, it's 20 degrees warmer in here. So I will take inside the van with 40-degree weather versus 20 degrees. Now let's get some breakfast. Today's breakfast are the Trader Joe's banana bread chocolate chip muffins. These are so good. Perfect breakfast for when you're on the go. Pineapple juice at 8,000 feet. You wouldn't think it's logistically possible, but it is. You just have to sit down every once in a while and have some appreciation for the modern day supply chain. Here I am in the middle of the mountains at 8,000 feet. In the center of the country, far away from any tropical islands or anything, and I'm sitting here drinking pineapple juice. That's crazy. Spending time out here in nature makes me think what I've learned at CSU. Water is everything. It shapes the land, determines ecosystems, and determines where life can thrive. We are all connected by this vital resource, but it's not evenly distributed. Some places have too much, others barely have enough. One of the key lessons from my classes this week is that water scarcity is not just about the quantity of water available. It's all about how we use it, who has access, and whether or not we're using it wisely. Despite the natural beauty surrounding us, it's important to remember that water is not this infinite, abundant resource. Just beyond these mountains, water stress is a harsh reality. The Colorado River, river, a vital water source in the West, is quickly being overused. It's our responsibility to start planning and be more sustainable. Otherwise, we'll suffer the consequences. But it's also not just about how much water we have, it's about where it goes. The land plays a huge role in that. I've learned that different soil types play a huge part in whether or not the water gets absorbed or runs off. Some soils, like sandy soils, let water pass right through without a problem. Others, like clay, have very low permeability and don't allow water to flow as easily. This information gives us the power to understand how both flooding and erosion happen on landscapes. The soil beneath our feet shapes everything, and we can shape a more sustainable future with our knowledge and actions. Day by walking around this lake.
Water is vital. It embodies life. Water, the essence of life, is abundant in some places. Yet in others, it's a scarce resource. The stark contrast between these two realities deepens my appreciation for all we often take for granted. Perhaps the lesson here is to appreciate what we have, to take only what we need, and to never forget how important it is to be mindful of our resources and the privilege we have to access them.
This trip provided exactly what I needed. The excitement of the unknown, the thrill of a challenge, and a powerful reminder that fear is simply excitement holding its breath. And what are some ways that you like to explore the outdoors and enjoy nature? Let me know down in the comments below and I'll engage with you there. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. And before you head out, check out this next video over here for more van adventures. I'll see you over there.